In this video, I'm going to be going through the notes for quadratic functions, which is on Thursday, April 11th. So quadratic functions. We actually spent a lot of time on quadratic functions. That was in topic 8. We took a test on it. We graphed them. We talked about vertex form, standard form, axis of symmetry, y-intercept, all of that good stuff. Quadratic functions are coming back just for one day. So review, quadratic equations can be written in two forms. There's the vertex form, and vertex form looks like this. F of x equals a x plus h squared plus k. And if you remember all the characteristics, this number would tell us if it opens up or down, and then if it was wide or narrow. And then h and k would tell us the vertex. Where's the vertex? You do the opposite of the inside, you keep the outside the same. And then there was the second one. The second form is called standard form. Standard form looks like this. F of x equals ax squared plus bx plus c. And I told you standard form is all of topic 9, which is true. Everything we have been doing for this class has been in standard form. Everything has looked like that. So, continuing review, rewrite the quadratic function in standard form. So this is in vertex form. They want us to change it to standard form. This is something that you already know how to do. So f of x equals x plus 3 squared minus 7. If you recall, we talked about what does that 2 actually mean? That 2 means that there's 2 x plus 3's. So we would write out x plus 3 times x plus 3, and then don't forget the minus 7. Why does that help us? Because now I can actually multiply these. This is what you learned in topic 7. X times x is x squared. X times 3 is 3x. 3 times x is 3x. 3 times 3 is 9. Again, don't forget the minus 7. After we distribute like that, we always combine like terms, and I can combine those. X squared plus 6x plus 9. Normally, there was a number in the front, like a 3 there or something, and then we would multiply again. But this one doesn't have a number in the front. There was no number, so that means once I got here, I don't need the parentheses. I could just put the minus 7 because I didn't have to distribute again. And then I combine like terms again, so I'm going to combine those. X squared plus 6x, 9 minus 7 is 2. So we changed the equation from vertex form to standard form. It had parentheses, and now it doesn't have parentheses. Now, today you're going to learn that this is the one thing you're going to learn is we will learn the process of converting quadratic functions from standard form to vertex form. So now you're going to learn how to go backwards. If I gave you this, can you make it so that there's parentheses so that it's in vertex form? This is one of the benefits of completing the square. To be honest, this is the only benefit of completing the square. It's the only reason we actually use it. Rewrite the quadratic function. Again, no parentheses in vertex form. They want us to change it so that there is parentheses. To eliminate some confusion as we go through this, because we're going to keep some variables in there, like the f of x. Some teachers, including me, change the f of x to a y. Everything else is staying the same. And now we're going to complete the square. If you remember the steps, we always move c. So that positive 2, I'm going to subtract it from both sides. So now on this side, I have y minus 2. Leave some space. Remember, we always do that. X squared plus 6x, and then leave some space. And then complete the square. Remember, we use the formula. So off to the side, b over 2 squared. What's b? B is 6. That's the middle term. So 6 over 2 squared. 6 divided by 2 is 3, and then 3 squared is 9. So that is the number that we're going to add to both sides. Now on this side, since we completed the square, this is a perfect square trinomial, which means we can now factor it. So I'm going to use my x method. 1 times 9 goes on top, 6 goes on bottom. What are the two numbers that multiply to 9 and add to 6? 3 and 3. So on this side, this trinomial is now x plus 3 squared. Technically 2x plus 3's, but again, we skip that step and it goes straight to x plus 3 squared. On this side, I add negative 2 plus 9, that's 7. And then my last step, notice that I now have the parentheses. Remember, this looks like vertex form. So if I scroll up a little bit, that kind of looks like this. The only thing that I need to do is I got to move this 7 back. So it's adding, so I'm going to subtract. And then I'm also going to change the y back to an f of x. So in this case, my answer is f of x equals x plus 3 squared minus 7. Now this is in vertex form. I can look at that, and if I graphed this parabola, the vertex would be negative 3, negative 7, because you do the opposite of the inside, keep the outside the same. I'm going to do one more. This one I'm going to do a little bit faster. So change f of x to y. In this next one, you don't have to do this first step because it's already a y. So on that one right there, got to move c, y plus 5, leave some space because we're going to complete the square. Off to the side, you got to use b over 2 squared, but in this case, that would just be 4. So I'm going to add 4 to both sides. This is now a perfect square trinomial, which would factor into x plus 2 squared. And on this side, I would add 5 plus 4, which is 9. Move the 9 back over. So I'm going to subtract it. And then change the y back to f of x. F of x equals x plus 2 squared minus 9. Hopefully that helps. I do want you to practice with this one, the one on the right. But the answer key is going to be at the front of the board. And then the backside of these notes is your homework. So you do have a little bit of a longer homework assignment. You have a total of 8 problems. Answer keys are on the board if you want to check your work for anything. These are review. The first 3 sections, this one, and 1, our review of what we did yesterday on Wednesday. And then this is where you're practicing what you learned today. Hopefully this helps. You can watch this video as many times as you want to assist. Let Mr. C know if you have any questions or myself. And I'll also be tutoring after school. Thank you.